Writing retreat time.
Thank you so much.
Have a good
day.
Have a good one. Whoa. Why does that look so good? Like so good.
Wait, that's really good. Wait, that's so good.
So we'll be back here tomorrow.
Amazing, incredible, not pumpkin spice, pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie.
Really good.
Lattes. Time to write. Woo! For the next 2 days, we are going to be staying in a log cabin on the lake and working on my new adult fantasy novel, which I've been calling Book 2. It is the sequel to my hopeful self-publishing debut, Unraveling, which is a new adult fantasy with enemies to lovers romance and dystopian vibes. This is my first ever time doing a writing retreat, and I am very, very excited to be drafting in the most scenic, beautiful place ever. We just got to the cabin. It is Friday afternoon around 3 p.m. We picked up groceries, we picked up coffee, and we are ready to lock in and get some serious words. We're here for the rest of tonight, all day tomorrow, and we leave Sunday morning, and my hope is to get a ton of words in this manuscript by the time that we do leave. As far as my approach, I have not set any specific word count goals because I've been noticing recently that I've really been liking keeping the pressure a little lighter on myself, and so I'm sticking with that strategy, not setting any specific numbers, but I am really hopeful that we're going to make a ton of progress with this much dedicated time to writing because I have zero other responsibilities for all of the time that I'm at this cabin, and I'm going to truly just be fully letting myself get absorbed in my story, and I'm really, really excited about that. So welcome into the video. We're currently sitting just around 6,000 words in the manuscript. I did get some words yesterday, though to be honest, I'm really not sold on what I wrote. Something that I've been trying to remind myself, and a phrase that I really resonate with, is that the first draft is just you telling yourself what happens in the book. And I think if you're struggling with the style or the prose of your first draft not being up to your standards, I think a phrase like this can be really, really helpful. So it's something that I've been trying to repeat to myself. If all else fails, even if I don't like the way that I wrote a chapter, at least it's kind of giving me a very elaborate outline of what I want to happen in that scene, and I'm able to explore all of that through the drafting process. So that is still a win. With that mindset in mind, we're going to go into writing today. I'm really excited to keep working on the manuscript, and Lord knows how many hours we're going to write. I think we're going to start with writing sprints, and then if we get into the zone, we'll probably just kind of free flow right from there. But yeah, I'm really excited. My friend Mick is here with me. I'll introduce you guys to her in a bit. She has been in my content before, and yeah, I could not ask for a better spot to write, honestly. All right, without further ado, let's get into the vlog. This is Mick, one of my best friends from LA, and she came up to Washington. So yeah, we're like by like some random lake about an hour outside of Seattle, and it's really pretty. That's a little spooky though.
Yeah, it's a bit scary.
It's a bit scary, but it's a vibe.
It's okay. I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna survive.
Very dark and moody update. I've been mostly reviewing, honestly, the entire manuscript so far and trying to get some clarity around characterization, which I think in the past I would have viewed as like wasted time, but because I know we're gonna be here for so long and I have time to really sink in, I'm letting myself do that, and it feels really good. I feel like I'm getting clarity on these characters and what needs to happen going forward, so we're feeling really good. And I still feel like I'll get a couple thousand words in because, believe it or not, it's only 4:52 p.m. despite this.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Wait, why is this giving? It's giving low budget horror film. It's giving film school.
Found footage.
Can you put a subtle light on me from the face? What? That's so cool. Because there's like a little bit of a hair light from that, so it like is so golden.
Okay, film degree.
Okay, film degree. Okay, hair light. Ah, wait, this is magical. Good morning. Happy Saturday? Yes, I think it's Saturday. I do, in fact, have stats to present from last night. I ended up drafting 2,796 words, bringing us to a total of 9,173 words in the project. And I think, based on my estimations, I ended up writing for about 4.5 hours. I did quite literally go through everything that I had up till this point. I did a full read through and like some tweaks to all of the chapters of the manuscript so far. So I did that for a couple hours, and then obviously I wrote the 2.79k extra of material last night. So I'm feeling really good. That was like obviously not a full day. Today is a full day, so I'm excited to see what type of progress we make today. I'm in the kitchen right now about to make breakfast. The scene that I was working on last night was very challenging. It was probably one of the most like complicated, difficult scenes of the book, at least of the first half of the book. And so it was a lot of moving pieces. It's like a meeting where they're talking about like strategy and people are arguing, and it was just like a lot to balance. But I got through that scene, and that was my main goal for last night, so that going into today I had some lighter, less heavy lifting scenes to start off with to help me gain some momentum. I also wrote a scene that I was not really planning for. I ended up switching into the love interest point of view towards the end of the meeting scene, and then he like goes back to his room, and I'm planning to have like a nightmare situation go on in that chapter. But I ended up writing like a lot of unexpected interiority and like a little bit of a breakdown for him, and I really like it. I'll have to decide when I go into revision whether it's the right place for it, but I really like it. So today we have some exciting scenes coming up, some like cute moments for the romance, some reunions, so I'm really excited to write those chapters. It's like, what is it, like 10 a.m. now, and we just like kind of got ready. I'm gonna have some cereal, and then I think we're gonna kickstart the writing and then go get some coffees. So yeah. Also, how beautiful does the cabinet look behind me? Can we talk about it? The atmosphere is amazing, and I think it might rain today, which rain on these windows would be crazy, so I really hope that it does. That's the update, and we'll get into writing soon, but first I need some sustenance. We just went to the same place we went to yesterday for pumpkin pie lattes because they were so good the first time around. Hey! We did about an hour of writing this morning. We each got just over 1,000 words, so that is big progress.
Yeah, 2 30-minute sprints.
2 30-minute sprints. I feel like we're back in the momentum. Feeling really good.
And like, if we did that much in just 1 hour, who knows what else
the potential is crazy. I'm trying not to get too attached to it, but I am hoping to hit 15k today. Kind of scary.
I think she's gonna do it.
It's possible. We do have like the entire day.
But also word count is arbitrary, so it's fine.
Yes. Yes. And I'm glad that like I'm slowing down to make sure that the words are like useful, good words, as opposed to just like
hitting the word count.
Yeah. Thanks, Vic. Okay. I did, in fact, finish that nightmare scene, and now I'm about to move into more of just like a chatty relationship moment between our two main characters that I'm really excited to write. And I already have a lot of the dialogue figured out, so I feel like that scene will be pretty painless, hopefully. And yeah, feeling good, excited. We did break 10k also in this morning's sprints, which is a huge win. I'm 1/3 of the way to my 30k word count goal, so I'm feeling very strongly that that is extremely doable. We did also pick up some mac and cheese for later, and I never really have like the little Kraft mac and cheese, so it's quite a treat. I'm very excited. Let's get back to it. word count progress for this morning.
Oh, I don't remember what mine was.
So for reference, it's 2:50 p.m. and I have gotten 2450 so far today, bringing me to 11,623.
I have gotten 1,720 words today, which brings me to 4,100.
Amazing.
And my goal for the weekend is 7,500. So we're well on our way.
On track.
We're on track.
And I am fully committing to 15K as my goal for the weekend. We have all of tonight and we have some time tomorrow as well. So I'm feeling good that's gonna happen. I think it would be interesting to talk about how our writing retreat experience has been going so far, because for both of us, this is our first time doing a writing retreat. And for me, this is my first time trying to do like a marathon of getting like a lot of writing in a couple days. And so I think we've both had to adjust to that. So I'm curious to hear your reflections, Mick, and I have some takeaways myself of just like, how is it different trying to write in this, like, let's write for the whole day, or like, let's write in more of a marathon style. Like, how is that different, and how are you adjusting to be productive during this time?
I think for me, it's actually more freeing than anything else, because I feel like I have the time for something to be bad. Do you know what I mean? Because like usually if I only sit down for an hour, I'm the kind of person that I want my first draft to be good. Like I want it to be readable. I want it to be basically up to some kind of like my standards, instead of doing like a messy bare bones draft. I'm a very meticulous writer slash drafter, I feel like, which oftentimes does me a huge disservice, because I'm afraid of wasting my time doing something badly and then feeling like, well, that's the whole day gone because what I wrote is not what I want it to be.
Right.
Instead of a situation like this where we literally have 12 hours in the day, including lunch breaks and whatnot, to sit there and try things.
Yeah.
And if you don't like what you have, that's fine. There's still 5 more hours to go back in and rework it, to beef it up, to change it completely. And you don't feel like you're at a loss because there's still so much time to add to like what you have. So it's honestly really helping me. I always get stuck towards the beginning of a book because I'm just so obsessed with wanting the start to be so strong and structured correctly and really like bring readers in, because I'm already in that mindset. But it doesn't feel like that here. It's been like really fun and really freeing to just be like, whatever, if whatever comes out is what comes out, and then I can go back later because I have so much time. So it's nice.
I like that. I feel very similarly, because both of us I think have reworked pieces throughout the last 2 days, but we've still also been adding words because we have enough time for both. And I agree, because normally I'm only writing for an hour, maybe 2 hours. And so it feels like if I spend that time reviewing what I wrote previously or trying to tweak, then I'm getting no new words for the day. And then I like don't feel like I made progress. So having like dedicated hours on hours on hours where it's like you can do both, like you can go in and tweak, but you also can get thousands of new words, is like so nice. And I was telling Mick yesterday that I feel like I typically hold myself to very strict standards when it comes to a writing session, in the sense that when I get the impulse to take a break, I just stop writing, because I'm like, have this idea in my head that for my entire writing session, I need to like not check my phone, not take a single break. Like it needs to be a one sprint situation. And what I've realized on this writing retreat is I hit that wall a few times yesterday of being like, this is where I would normally stop writing, because I would be like, well, I'm tapped out. What I've realized is no, actually, if I go get a snack and like we chat for a few minutes, suddenly I have more words to write. And it just made me realize maybe I'm being too strict with my writing sessions. When I feel tired, it doesn't mean I'm done for the day. It just means I need a break. Game changer.
Game changer.
Like, who would have thought?
The more you know.
I never take breaks when I'm writing. When I'm tired, I just stop. And that was like mind-blowing to realize. So take breaks, everyone. That's the takeaway.
Take breaks and then get back into it. And obviously, if when you get back into it, you're still feeling like, no, then that's fine, and give yourself grace. But like, if you feel like you can keep going, do it. You know?
And honestly, I feel like this experience is giving me a lot of faith in my stamina, because I do feel like in the past, I thought my cap was like 1,500 words in a day. And now we're getting 2,000 plus so far today, and I still feel like I have more to give. So it's like, oh no, I can actually rally if I take the measures that I need to, and I like just try to push through, because there has also been a bit of that the past 2 days of just like, okay, I feel like I'm hitting a wall, but if I push it a few more paragraphs, maybe I'll hit a stride again. And it's just a little bit of that like push and pull. There's moments where it's like, oh, I don't know what happens next here. Not really feeling very inspired for this scene, and then you break through and then the words come a lot faster. So just because it's like a moment of like hesitation or like I don't quite know where to go from here doesn't mean that you should like put the manuscript away necessarily.
Yeah. Because also I feel like something I've like realized over the time of being here is sometimes a lack of inspiration is not because your mind is actually blank and you don't have it in you to continue down that path. Sometimes, again, you just have to try things, like start, and like the ideas will come as you're working. And so again, being in this environment where you have the time to try things is so good.
Yes, yes. And I think we've both had moments of over the past like 2 days as well of like realizing, oh, I could add this into the middle of that scene, or just like there's things that you don't realize when you get into the flow, and then you're like, wait a second, like this should have happened earlier, or like I can weave this in. And it's just cool to have those like realizations while you're in it and like just working through the kinks, you know?
Also, like I don't know if I said this in your vlog, but this was me starting my November writing challenge. Like I hadn't started before this retreat. And so I just had like a general idea of like the basic plot, and I didn't really have much detail beyond that because I didn't do a lot of outlining in October. And so I'm realizing, like this has made me realize this kind of environment is so conducive for me for starting a project because there's so much time to try things again and just get things on the page and get the ball rolling. And obviously I can go back and change whatever I have, but like this is making me think, oh, anytime I do something like this, like anytime I want to start a new project, might be smart to actually give myself extensive dedicated time to like lock myself away.
Yes.
And like focus on it.
Yes.
Because like 2-hour sessions throughout the week, obviously you can still make progress, but I think for me personally, I'm finding like the marathon nature of this is actually so much better.
Yeah. I think I prefer it a lot too. Just being able to spend the amount of time and let my brain like wander and think about the book while we're taking like our breaks. Both of us are pretty disconnected right now, like not spending too much time on our phones, not working on anything else. Like we blocked out this time to just focus on the writing. And yeah, the amount of progress that we've been able to make, I could not make in weeks normally. Like truly crazy.
Me for sure.
So basically we need to be doing many writing retreats going forward because it's changed our lives.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, being a full-time writer must be so conducive to writing. That's actually so crazy.
It's kind of crazy how that works. But I don't even feel like it's just the full-time hours. I do think being in a different location
being disconnected
makes a huge difference.
Being like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like this is all I'm focusing on for the next 48 hours.
Okay.
Also, this is just like the perfect location to be.
It truly is.
It's raining.
It is raining, which is so nice. And we can like hear a little pattering on the roof.
There's like a skylight in here so you can hear it. It's really cute.
I thought we would answer some questions. I have some like miscellaneous gathered questions from like past times that I've asked you guys for questions. We just talked through this one, so we'll answer this one first. The question was, what would you consider the most important writing advice you've ever gotten? But that's like a lot of pressure, so we're gonna amend it to like, what's a piece of writing advice that you've been liking recently?
I attended one of Brielle's streams recently, and she did one with, I think it was Alyssa, Andy, and there was a fourth person. Who was
Natalie.
They were talking about writing advice, and Brielle and Alyssa were like having a conversation about how to make like emotional and more specifically like romantic scenes like pack a harder punch. And they were talking about making it go slower than you think it needs to, like going into specifics, like moving slower. And that's really helpful for me because I feel like I tend to rush through scenes because I just want to get it on the page. In terms of like overwriting versus underwriting, I feel like to make a scene stronger, it makes sense to almost make yourself uncomfortable and make yourself feel like this is too much. And then you can go back and like whittle it down if you have to, but like I feel like it's better to have a surplus than not enough. So
yeah. Going off of that, sometimes you feel like a scene is dragging when really it's just dragging as the writer, but as the reader, it'll actually feel finely paced. So obviously it's a balance because you can go too slow with things, but for me and for most underwriters, I think there's this feeling of like, well, we got to move through this quickly. And it's like, no, it might feel slow to you as a writer, but to the reader, it will feel right. Yeah. You know? So I agree with that. And like kind of on the same note, my recent piece of writing advice that I've been clinging to is just getting more specific, because I feel like a lot of times when I finish a scene and I feel unsatisfied with it, it's because I was doing too much summarizing. I was very vague. There was nothing like compelling in terms of like specific details or like specific visuals that I really liked. So just getting more specific and trying to incorporate some of those more like unique descriptions, things that the reader can really like sink their teeth into.
The things that people will be highlighting.
Yes, the things that people will be highlighting.
In their copies.
Absolutely. Amazing. Okay. Any advice on how to get through the swampy middle part of a book?
I've never actually made it to the swampy middle part because I get stuck in the swampy beginning.
The swampy beginning.
So honestly, I think the thing that's resonated most with me throughout the process of like trying to get over myself and just draft something is sometimes you just have to get things on the page. Nothing you write is permanent. Like, if you just force yourself to sit there and word vomit, you can go back and you can move things around and you can critique yourself down the line, but sometimes it's just about giving yourself some momentum, like making yourself feel like you're making progress. Even if you go back and end up scrapping it when you're revising, like just having things on the page makes such a difference. And I'm realizing that the more that I let myself actually draft. So
I think if you're struggling in terms of like what actual scenes are needed in the middle of this book, like if it's that sort of a situation, I feel like one of the best things you can ask yourself is like, and I think I've mentioned this before, like where do my characters need to be both personally and in terms of their relationships for the later scenes to resonate, and how can I utilize the middle of this book to get my characters there. A lot of times the middle is the time where the relationships are developing or the character is like on their way of their arc, and if you build your scenes around that goal, I think it'll help you have a sense of direction with what needs to happen in that space. Hopefully that's helpful. It's hard though to get through the middle slog of a book for sure.
It is, especially because like if you're looking at like an outline template like Save the Cat, when it literally says like fun and games for like 40%, and you're like, okay, so
like what?
So what?
What does that involve?
What exactly am I doing here? It can get really intimidating because it feels like you're looking at so much of a blank slate if you are more of an outliner than a discovery writer. And even then,
that is a good point though. Even like when you think about Save the Cat, like can you look at other forms of media, what they do with the fun and games section? Like can you think of a movie you like, a book you like, focus less on the specifics of the scene but more so like what type of scene is this? Is it like, you know, the characters going out and doing something? Is it a conversational quieter scene? Like what categories of scenes can you pull, and then fill in the details for your own book,
and like kind of analyze like how each scene advances the plot, like what its specific device is, you know what I mean, and then see if you can apply it to your own story.
Like what is the purpose behind each scene? I like that. Okay, we kind of snapped. What's your coffee order? This is always a fun question.
I love when there's holiday drinks. Like if there's a holiday drink, I will be getting whatever the holiday latte is. Like the place we've been the last 2 days has a pumpkin pie latte, so that's what we've been getting.
Yes. I'm the same way. If there's a specialty drink, I will be swayed. I had a lavender matcha the other day. So good. But yeah, I'm also in a seasonals drink phase. I think that's all we're going to answer for today, but I will keep answering questions sporadically throughout upcoming vlogs. So if you have any questions you want me to answer, leave them in the comments. I think I'm going to step outside, get a little bit of fresh air, get some clips of the lake, and then dive back in to hit this 15K. Also, it's crazy because if I do succeed at hitting 15K, I will have more than doubled my word count just on this writing retreat.
Oh my God.
Because I started at 6K. So everyone go on a writing retreat.
We love progress. We love it.
Look at that. Gloomy as hell. How gorgeous is that? Okay, rain on the glass. Hello? We are en route for another coffee, because why the heck not, truly. Before the sun sets, and it is in fact raining. Oh, the road.
We're off-roading.
The road to get to the cabin is more of a path than a road. Also, I can't check the hours of the coffee shop since we have no service.
Right.
So I guess we're just gonna
see what we find.
We're just gonna see what happens. I'll do a 16-ounce decaf iced latte. Do you have peppermint syrup? I'll do just like 1 pump of that. Thank you.
What kind of milk did you want yours?
Oat milk?
Oat milk, okay. You guys up to anything fun today?
We're actually staying in a cabin down the road, just hanging out.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Wait, in like Black Diamond?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's like, are you guys from out of town?
I live in Seattle. She's from LA.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I love that you were like, we're just hanging out. I was like, I was meant to be like, we're doing a writing retreat. We're writing a book.
I get scared because I don't want to have to explain.
I feel like they rarely ask for that many details.
Interesting.
Oh, interesting? Uh-oh.
Interesting.
Iced latte with peppermint. Mine's good.
Is it?
Like, really good. My car could really use a car wash. I mean, I guess it is getting a car wash right now.
It's raining.
All right, back to the cabin we go. Something happened. Mick and I entered the vortex, and I did in fact surpass 15,000 words in this manuscript. And I did some calculations, and that means since Mick first arrived in Seattle and we've done this whole writing retreat, I've officially written? I have written just about 10,000 words, which is crazy actually, and honestly fulfills all my goals. And I don't even think that I'm done. We still have a few hours of writing to be done tomorrow. So I'm officially halfway through my nano goal of 30k words, and I started the beginning of this weekend on Thursday with about 5,000 words. So I've tripled what I had just 3 days ago, which is pretty crazy. So basically I'll be going on writing retreats every time I need to write a book because the productivity has been nuts. There were months of drafting book 1 where I got 10,000 words, and I've gotten that much in 3 days. So anyway, I'm feeling really good. I'm also really loving everything that I'm writing right now, and I just got to another really exciting part, which is like the Christmas party scene that I'm like so eager to work on. So I dredged through some of the scenes that were a little duller or more complicated, and I'm now in a section of the book that I'm so excited about, and things are about to ramp up for the romance, which I'm really looking forward to. So basically, nothing but good things to report, and I'm feeling really happy with the progress. This has been like such an amazing experience. So the next day, Mick and I checked out of our Airbnb, and we actually went to this cute little half bookstore, half cafe situation called Third Place Books. We wanted to get some final words to reach our writing goals, so I wrote another 2,000 words this day, which brought the total for our writing retreat these 3 days to 11,205 words, which is definitely the most progress that I've ever made in a 3-day time span, and I was so happy with the progress. If you guys made it all the way to the end of this video, comment down below the camping emoji, because that's as close as we're going to get to a cabin. Thanks for being here. Love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.